Hello guys, Greg back for another video. So this is my top 10 favourite fragrances for 2014. This is an idea that I took from Cody, whose channel I'm sure you all know is DrakDoc. And one of my favourite reviewers, Rene, whose channel is Mr. Zias81, has also just done a very similar video recently. And all this is at this moment in time, May 2014, my 10 favourite fragrances, well actually 12 in this list, from my collections. Not related to season, occasion, performance, price, anything, just the ones I enjoy most at this moment in time that I actually own. So before we crack on with the 10, I've got two honourable mentions. First one's this one that you can see here. It doesn't really need much introduction. Creed's Green Irish Tweed. There's loads and loads of reviews out there for this one, so if you want to find out more, if you don't know already, go and check those reviews out. What I will say is don't be put off by the retail price of Creed's. If you look around hard enough, you can find them up to 50% off retail. They are quite affordable, bearing in mind this one's a 120ml bottle. If you can pick it up at a reasonable price, your price per ml is actually not going to be too much more, I guess, than a lot of the high-end designers. So have a look around anyway. So that's the first honourable mention, Creed's Green Irish Tweed. Second honourable mention, this one featured in my recent Perfect 10 fragrance video. It's just missing out on the top 10. Just because at this moment in time there's some that I'm enjoying more, but it's still a 10 out of 10 for me. And this is Thierry Mugler's Mugler Cologne. And this one I've mentioned before, this was Thierry Mugler's attempt to recreate the smell of a soap that he remembered from when he was a kid. It's very simple, clean, fresh, soapy scent, but it's beautiful in my opinion, and it's really great for the warmer weather. So that's the two honourable mentions. So let's crack on with the list. Excuse me. Number 10, one of my recent finds, one that I've been shouting about for a while now. The Tom Ford Tuscan Leather Clone. This is La Yukawam from the House of Rasazi. This is a really great oriental leather based fragrance with a heavy dose of raspberry in there. If you want to smell like Tuscan leather but you don't want to pay a fortune, check this one out. UK price on this, either from eBay or if you buy it from some of the suppliers based in Kuwait, is around £60 for this 75ml, and that's about $100. So I'll leave a link for my review that I did on that below, but it's definitely worth checking out. Honestly guys, it's a great fragrance. Number 9, this one's from the House of Tom Ford, and this one is Oud Wood. So I get from this predominantly vanilla, oud, woods and sandalwood. There's a lot more in there, but that's what I mainly pick up. This is my joint favourite from the Tom Ford house, along with Tuscan Leather. Now eBay is your friend for Tom Fords. Most of these 50ml bottles you can pick up from anywhere from about £60 up to maybe £95. Really shouldn't be looking to pay much more than that. Just be patient, look around on eBay. There's not, as far as I'm aware, an issue with fakes on these. I've never come across any fake Tom Ford private blends. Not to say there aren't any, so be careful, but certainly have a look on eBay before you go and shell out retail for those. Number 8. This is one that I just never ever go off of. It's not spectacular, just very simple, but it just works for me, and this is YSL's Rive Gauche. It's a really classic smelling aromatic fougere. You can see by this tin can that's like a shaving foam can exactly what this fragrance is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a barbershop fragrance, and it certainly is. There's a new formulation. This is the original one. The new formulation actually comes in a bottle. There's not a whole lot of difference. I've been testing that one recently, so if you can't find this one, or you don't want to pay silly prices, and I wouldn't advise you do, go and check out the one that's available in retail now. It's still a really good fragrance. So, number 7. This one is one of my most recent purchases. This is from the house, a UK house called Bella Bellissima. This is from the Essence of Oud collection, and this one is called White Leather, and I featured this in my recent 10 out of 10 or Perfect 10 video. So this is a sweet vanilla oud fragrance with musk and leather. It's got a very interesting guava note in here as well. A lot of similarities to Tom Ford's Oud Wood to my nose. I haven't heard anyone else say that, but I think so. As I mentioned in that Perfect 10 video, this is only available in 2 stores, and they're both based in London. So if you're outside of the UK or outside of London even, you might have trouble finding that. So, but if you can find it, certainly do. Okay, number 6. This one is the ultimate tea toothpaste fragrance is what I always say about this one. One of the great Gucci scents, and they did do some great scents, and this one is Gucci Pour Homme 2, or Gucci Pour Homme 2. A really great woody spicy fragrance centred around black tea. Now, I've spoken about this one in the past a lot, but what I usually say, it's got a very calming, comforting feel to it. Gets a lot of criticism before performance, but for me it lasts all day. Not a projection beast, but people will smell this on you. I have a feeling this is going to be discontinued. I don't know that, but there's just some signs that it's going the same way as the original Gucci Pour Homme. So if you do like this one, it might be worth stocking up now. Gucci Pour Homme 2. So where are we? Number 5. Which one should we pick as 5? It's a toss. Okay, yeah, this one. Another Perfect 10 fragrance, another one that I've reviewed, and again I'll leave a link to my review on this. This one is from the house of Victor and Rolf, and this is called Antidote. Now this is now discontinued, but you can still find this. Certainly in the UK you can find it online at all of the major department stores, and in some actually in store in some places. So it's you're still able to find it. Now this is fruity, it's herbal, floral, smoky, it's spicy, it's soapy, everything rolled into one. Can't say enough about this one. I think it's a stunning fragrance. So that's number 5, Victor and Rolf's Antidote. Number 4, the undisputed king of summer, as far as I'm concerned. Never found a better summer fragrance than this. And this is Creed's Virgin Island Water. So rum, lime, coconut, strengthened by some musk. Gets criticised for poor performance sometimes. Now all I can say is, in my opinion, that's down to batch variations. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear it, a lot of people don't want to believe it, but I'm telling you it's definitely a factor. This is a 2012 bottle. This lasts 12 hours for me, and it projects like an absolute beast. I also have a 2007 version, which is exactly the same. But I have had a 2010 and a 2011 batch. Can't remember the exact batches, and both of them lasted about an hour. And when I say lasted, I mean they were completely undetectable after an hour. So there's definitely differences in performances, but funnily enough, not much difference in the smell on all of those batches. But anyway, number 4, beautiful fragrance, beautiful summer fragrance from Creed. That's Virgin Island Water. Now number 3, this one is a pretty much universally loved fragrance, one of the most acclaimed designers of all time. And this is the irrepressible Dior Homme. Now this is the reformulated version. I have both the original and the reform. I prefer the reform on this. On Dior Homme Intense, I prefer the original. So this is a woody floral musk centred around cocoa and iris, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know. It also uses lavender and amber really beautifully, and it's got a great bit of leather in the base on this one. Now this is called Dior Homme, Homme meaning man, but to me this is definitely a unisex fragrance. So number 3, Dior Homme. Number 2. Now this is a fragrance that I never thought I would buy, and I wouldn't recommend looking at or buying unless you've got a lot of disposable income. Now I don't have a lot of disposable income. I'm just an average bloke with a mortgage and kids and a wife. But this one was a neutral purchase, meaning that I sold fragrances from my collection to the value, in fact actually more than the value of this fragrance, so I could buy it. And on top of that, when I did buy it, I had to split 30 mils to recoup some of the investment. But it's so good that I just had to have it and find a way to get it. And this is from the house of Roger Parfums, and people know Roger Dove, and this is called Amber Oud. Now I'm not going to attempt to describe this one too much. It's I'll say it's a very wearable oud. It's not one of the skanky sort of barnyard type ouds. It's got birch and rose and ylang ylang in here. Don't think I'll ever buy anything like this again. But it was so great, as I said, I had to find a way to get it, and you can see I've split an awful lot of this to try and get some money back. Don't think I'll ever buy anything again. Nearly knocked my number 1 off its perch, but didn't, and nothing has yet. And if you know me and follow me, you'll probably know what that is. The masterpiece that is Fahrenheit. I've described this one many times before. Ultimately the magic that from this is from the petroleum or gasoline accord that just makes this a unique, stunning fragrance. Still my number 1. It came close. Dior Homme and Amber Oud both came close to knocking it off, but it stays number 1 in my collection. So there you go guys, that is my current 10 personal favourite fragrances that I own. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do rate, comment and subscribe. I'm going to come back with episodes 4 and 5 of my cheap but good fragrance series, and lots more to come as well. So I'll see you all very soon. Cheers guys.